Chris, thanks very much for joining us ahead of the game against Lincoln City. I'll start by asking for any reflections on Tuesday. Is that one you've been able to put behind you quite quickly?
Yeah, I think you always have to move on quickly, win, lose or draw, because you've got another game coming soon. But like I always do, I've analysed the game back, fed that back to the players, and I think when you lose a game, it's reflecting on what happened, you know, what you can learn from it, take responsibility for it, learn from it, and go again. You shouldn't overreact to any defeat, but you shouldn't underreact as well. You have to, you know, learn from it and go again.
You could see the disappointment of the players after the game, especially. What's the reaction been like from them in the past couple of days?
Yeah, as you would expect. You know, we had a day off. They recovered themselves at home and then came back into train today. And yeah, I think it's good. The disappointment's good. You have to suffer and, you know, feel that hurt because, you know, if you want to win, then you're going to feel that if you lose. So yeah, you just have to learn from it. Their reactions in the game, they tried everything to the very end of the game, to the very last whistle, and that's all I'll ever absolutely demand. Even if the quality's not there, I've always said to them it should be 10 out of 10 for effort to the very last whistle, and it was there. We just couldn't do it on the night, but their response has been as you would expect, and you know, they're ready to go again.
A big positive from the game was Emil Hansen getting his first league goal for the club. Is now really the time for him to kick on here and play his best football?
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, he's just been disrupted with injuries. Came in, you know, was a key signing in the summer. Really excited to get him in. I still remember watching him play when we signed him, and really looking forward to working with him. And yeah, just been disrupted by injuries. But to come in back into the team now, with building back up, got a goal, you know, another 60 minutes under his belt. So, you know, he's hopefully in a good place to kick on now.
It's great to see Jay Stansfield back on the pitch as well after quite a short absence. Is he ready to start yet, or is he still on limited minutes?
Yeah, no, I think that was good for him, that cameo appearance, because we had to be careful with his numbers and minutes. But no, he's trained and you know, he's available for the next match.
You mentioned Keshi Anderson and Ryan Alsop's injuries to be more short-term than long-term. Are we likely to see them back sooner rather than later?
So yeah, Keshi again has been kind of in light training. We'll see how he goes in the next few days, building himself back up again, and also Ryan again has made good strides with the knock that he had, and again we'll see in the next couple of days where we go with that.
How close are Mark Leonard and Ethan Laird to being involved in a squad as well?
So Mark Leonard's good, ready to go, training well, and Ethan is a little bit behind the others just with his knock, so he's a little bit longer.
Yeah, as important as those individuals are to the team, is it key to not try and rush them back from injury?
Well, yeah, you have to get a fine balance, because, you know, the most important game is the next game, so can we get the best squad available for that game? But there's certain injuries that you can tread a bit of a tightrope and end up losing them for longer, muscular injuries and certain things. So we always have to get that balance right. That's all the, you know, experts have to give me that information. In the end, I have to make a decision on that stuff. So we'll see how each case is and whether they're ready to go.
And how are some of the lads who have played a lot of minutes recently, and how are they holding up? The likes of Paik, Iwata, Cochrane, Davies and Clara come to mind.
They've done well. I mean, they've played a lot of football and they've done very well with it. They're absolutely fine. They've you know, been in recovering, doing what they need to do, preparing for the next match. As much as they're playing a lot, then footballers want to play, you know, so that's what they love to do the most, so they shouldn't worry too much about that. It's demanding, but a good demanding, so yeah, they're ready to go.
We saw Lee Myung-jae get 60 minutes for the 21s last week. What's your assessment on his first team availability? Yeah,
he's good. I mean, he's again hadn't played a lot of football over the sort of Christmas period, so it's building him back up again. So yeah, he's training hard, working well. You can see he's really sort of connecting in with how we train, how we play, and he's in a good position now to push on.
Looking at Lincoln City, their form has been a little bit up and down recently, but how would you assess their threat, particularly coming forwards?
Well, they've got a big threat. I think since we played them in the Cup, they've scored more league goals than anyone else in League One. They've got a new striker, Collins, who's very experienced, good player. And not only that, every time we played them, they've been pretty hard-fought games. The one away from home was tight. The FA Cup game ended up being a close run at the end. So they're a good team. They're a good team with threats all over the pitch. Set pieces they're good at. So organised team. So yeah, tough match.
Of course, you've already played and beaten the Imps twice this season. Does that make the preparation for the game any different at all?
I always watch the games back when we played the previous team, the team, just to understand a little bit about what their plan was for that match and everything. But then they can stick to something similar, or they can completely change it. But you always use it as a bit of a reference point. But the journey of a season, when we played them, feels like a long time ago now in the league anyway. So things have changed, new players, new ideas. But yeah, we can take confidence from the fact that we've managed to beat them. But it's a brand new game, and I'm sure they'll be right up for it, and so we'll have to be.
Game will be followed by another midweek fixture at home to Stevenage. You mentioned the players wanting to play every minute, but do you expect to have to do some rotation as well?
Potentially, yeah. I think it's a fine balance all the time, just trying to work out what the energy levels are, who needs to play and who needs a rest. That's something that I have to consider and make decisions, and we know that they're not going to be able to play every single minute of every single game. That's the one thing we do know. Who that is and how that works, we'll see.
Gaffer, thank you very much.
Thank you.